you got any final thoughts for the show?
Make jukes, not war.
Can we edit that out?
Nope. I had my game face on.
I think we can.
Hello and welcome to a very different venue. Usually I'm in a garden and I'm freezing cold or baking hot, depending on the time of the year. But I'm at a toy fair, and I'm also at a good friend of mine, Benji's stall. And I'm about to showcase a bunch of his customs, including one that I've just bought, this Range Rover. So please buckle in, put your gear knob into first and shift. These are some dioramas Benji's made. This is the one I've bought. However, there is some here that will be available for sale at some point, possibly internationally. And they are just fantastic, and I absolutely love them. They are fully orientational, fully handmade, and of course, well, as you can see, very, very nice. The actual cast itself has a bit of paint on it to simulate dirt, which I am also very, very, very fond of. And it looks just the part, but I'm particularly intrigued in the way he's actually done it, because it's a diorama inside of an old jar, which I think is very clever. He's used an old lid of the jar, used the upside of it, and then sort of covered it in a dome, and I think it creates a really, really, really nice effect. Of course, it does still come off, and the cast is still removable. We've already gone through this cast before, where we compared it to the Matchbox one, but I love the way it's dirtied up. I think this is the way Hot Wheels should have brought it out in the first place. But I love the way the weeds are all nicely done. Of course, you can see, very, very nicely done. I can use this for many, many other things. The Range Rover can go in many other places, and it just generally looks really, really well. The presentation is fantastic. I love the way the resin makes the water still look wet. It's mind-blowing how good it looks. Definitely looking forward to seeing these. When I saw a post up by Benji yesterday, I was excited to see. I paid £20 for this one, and I am very, very, very happy to be able to take one home, and also very happy to call myself the first owner. I'm just super pleased, and I would like to spread the word that please, if any of you are local to me, or local to Benji, or even possibly international, definitely pick one of these up if you can, because it is definitely worth it. I absolutely love it. And well, just look at it. Next, we also have a very, very, very cool Civic drifting in the rain. And of course, you can see he's had a little bit of an accident, and he slid himself into a concrete barrier. But either way, still very, very, very cool. You can see Benji's used a sort of resin type filler to sort of simulate a wet ground. Sadly, I don't have my screwdriver, so you're going to have to see my fingers floating every now and again. But it just looks very, very nice, and I love the way the dirtied up concrete looks. We'll put that out and we'll show you in a second. This one is mounted to the base, but it looks still very cool. There is tyre tracks left into the resin as well, and it just looks all around very, very, very cool. There it is out of the box. I absolutely really, really, really like this one. This might even be my favourite other than my Range Rover. Love it. Of course, it is fully dry, and it just looks fantastic. You can see, fully done out. It looks brilliant. I absolutely love it. It looks fantastic. This was the first one Benji did, and possibly even my favourite. I'm going to say this about a lot of them. He's used the 8-ball sort of charger type casting, and it looks very abandoned. This is my favourite type of custom, as very well known in the community. I love beating up abandoned casts in dioramas, so I'm very pleased to finally own one. This is very cool, moss surrounding it all the way around. It definitely looks the business, fully detailed, very nice. This is possibly something Hewitt's could do very soon. I'm very excited to see that. So, if you like it, please let Benji know, because this is very cool. Benji's on Facebook, and I'm sure he'll be in the comment section down below, so please drop a message, because these things need to go. They are extremely cool. And also, there we go, out of the glass jar. You can see it is very cool. Twisting it around, everything's very nice. I mean, the paint even looks matte. This was a fully glossed out car when it first came out of the factory, and it just looks the business. It looks really, really cool. And of course, you can see, so it says black on, it's of course suction cupped in using the seal around it, so you can see it is very, very, very cool. Let me mention the word cool a lot, and that's because, well, that's all these things are. They are just really cool. Detail wise, they're fantastic, and I love the way Benji's used the initial sort of casting and scooped a bunch of mud on, and sort of made rocks and sort of other bits of debris that really caught the thing up, and it just looks fantastic. And because you can see there's tyre marks there as well, it just looks great. And also we have this one here, the experimentation Range Rover. This one's sliding down a hill on rocks and obviously covered in dirt. Also very fan of this one in the ridge. It looks very nice. Presentation wise it's very clean, and of course I love the way the dirt on the inside of the jar is sort of complete opposite of how clean the jar is on the outside. It's just sort of very satisfying to see. Of course you can see how nice they are outside of the package, and you can see it looks very nice. I would honestly expect someone like Mini GT to make something like this. That's how good the quality is. Coming up next we have possibly one of my favourites once again. This abandoned CJ5 Jeep, covered in mud and debris, and it's deep in mud. This looks like a scene out of Spin Tires when I play that game, which is of course a mud simulator. Of course going next to a flourishing tree and a dead Jeep, which is a very common sight. Dead Jeeps next to fully alive sorry plants is very common in the States, I've heard. But this one is very nice. I really like the way that of course the ridge is there. I would definitely have to learn how to do customs like this because they are definitely very... There we are, up and open. You can see how detailed it is and how really nice sort of those tones are. And actually we have a full sort of open, or sort of, here's a picture of how it would have looked as to now. I like it. I personally think it looks a lot better. Finally, a Chart of Trials one. You can see the sticks simulating a sort of fence post sort of thing. You can see it's sort of cross-country trials. Defender, which looks really cool. Of course, climbing that hill, 3 wheels up, 1 wheel in the air. And you can see it's really cool. It's covered in debris. It looks very nice. The moss, of course, covering half of it, covered in mud. I just really like the effect. It's definitely one of my favourite types of customs I've seen, where sort of just abandoned or covered in dirt. Definitely a really cool sort of scene and scenario. And there we are out of the package, and you can see how really sort of detailed it is. Even if the cast isn't detailed necessarily, it's covered in mud and it just makes it so much more cooler than it would have been if it was stock. And on a side note, before I pack up and finish, I would like to say this mystery scene is also quite cool, covered in dirt. It did come in its own diorama, but I decided to remove it because it looks a lot nicer on the table, and then we finally have one that we can look at by itself. Not necessarily your choice offer order, but it definitely looks a lot sort of more cool than anything else. And it's definitely a cool one to mention. That has been an overview of customs made by Benji, a very good friend of mine, and well, just look at them. The quality wise they are fantastic, and I just love the way they look. Very known fact that I love the way abandoned / muddy customs look, so these were right down my alley. So thank you very much to Benji for letting me have a look at them and showcase them on the channel. Mid-fair, apologies for any background noise that may happen. It's a very bustling and busy event. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, have fun, and of course, stay juking.